repeat, the mother should take all types of food even as she's pregnant, so that through the inside the amniotic fluid, the child is able to taste different type. For example, a mother who eats greens, vegetable, palak, dal, the child definitely will, after being born and when they start complementary feeding, that mother is not going to have any problem. This is something which is not known to many, that a pregnant woman itself, even in pregnancy, you should start preparing for healthy food habits for the unborn baby. Now, regarding the complementary feeding, we actually start by 6 months, and from 6 months, what we generally do is we start with mashed food or thick porridges. Initially, you have to mash it up well. You can give up to 2 to 3 meals along with breastfeeding. You can give amount. How much amount should we give between 6 to 8 months? About 2 to 3 teaspoons full. This is in addition to breastfeeding. Next, between 9 months and 11 months, you give slightly less mashed food, but at the same time, well cooked food. Generally, no raw foods are advised till about 2 years of age. And this can be given up to 2 to 3 meals in addition to usual breast milk. In addition that, 1 to 2 additional snacks can also be given. The amount of food to be given is about 125 ml. To be put it very simply, about half a cup of porridge or rice or dal, moong dal. All varieties can be given up to 9 to 11 months. By 1 year, the child should be taking from the family pot, which means whatever you are eating, you should be able to give it to the child. At this stage, you give about 250 ml of food, and this is about 3 to 4 meals per day in addition to the breastfeeding. So this is all meals is addition to breastfeeding. You are not supposed to start any animal's milk till 1 year of age. The reasons being, one, animal milk contains a more sodium, which will cause a more renal overload, and the child can have problems. Two, this can cause allergy, atopic eczema, and asthma. More can occur in children. Three, lot of diarrheal diseases, lot of infections can occur if you start any type of animal's milk before 1 year of age. You can start animal's milk after 1 year of age, and even when you start, please do not dilute. Once you dilute or add water to milk, you are giving diluted milk, and it is not really milk. So if you want to add milk, if you want to add water to milk, please do not give milk. Also, you can improve the quality of complementary feeds by adding vegetables oil, like coconut oil when there is diarrhea. You can add ghee when there is no diarrhea. You can add small amounts of sugar, small amounts of jaggery. When you add jaggery, it's very important that you make it liquid and decant it from the top, because some amount of mud is always there in jaggery. Similarly, jaggery is also to be started only after 1 year. Why do we have this cutoff? Is because when there is increased bowel movements, there is a condition called as intussusception in children, which can occur in less smaller type of children. The viscosity of the food can be induced by a process called as malting. So what is malting? For example, we all give ragi to children after 6 months. So what you must do is wash ragi well, let it soak in water overnight, hang it up in a muslin cloth, keep wetting the muslin cloth. You will find small sprouts of the ragi. Then you dry it up in the sun and powder it. So this process of malting improves the quality of the ragi or the food we given. Also, this makes it more energy dense, and this is called as amylase rich flour in children. Also, the fruits and vegetables and minerals should be included, and in this only we have what is called as the rainbow colors. Rainbow colors means you need to have red vegetables, you need to have all the colors with violet, meaning grapes, iodine, as well as vibgyor, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. All colored foods, all types of capsicum, variety of colors will give variety of food. Why is it important is that whenever we give food, why do we need food? We need food because the child should be on the go, the child should grow, and the child should grow. Next slide, please. Soumya.
1 second, ma'am.
Water is one of the most neglected ingredient in our diet, but the most important. Why? The most vital. Why? Because 90% of our body contains water. So it's very important that we include water in our diet. Processed food. I'm sure when you go to a supermarket, we see a lot of processed food. But the processed food extends the shelf line in our supermarket, but it also extends our waste lines. So goes the saying. There is a saying that the hand that rocks the cradle rules the world, meaning the role of the mother, the role of the parent is of ultimate importance. So, the relationship of nutrition is important because a child's weight at 2 years is that determines the later chances of the child having obesity, the child having heart disease, kidney disease, pressure, sugar, and people tend to say, "My God, a child has become so thin." Even today, I had a father who came from Dubai and he said, "Madam, the boy is very sick, and you are saying it is like that." So I explained to him, "Your child is only 5 years, he needs to be only 18 kilos, and your child is already 22 kilos. So please explain to your mother there is no need to give extra food, extra Pediasure, extra Bonvita, Boost, and nothing." So it's very important that you maintain for the appropriate age and appropriate height. It is very important that you maintain the appropriate weight because today's food is tomorrow's problems. Processed food, as I said, can create problems. Now, I would suggest a small healthy diet tool for each one of us and for our children. You can you hear? Hello?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Sorry, yeah. Because there was a call in between. Okay. So forward foods and backwards foods. So whenever you take some food which you know is backward, please reduce the amount of food. That's a quick method. Similarly, eat less crap and more food. One small carry home statement is don't eat anything that your great grandmother would not label as food. I repeat, don't eat anything, don't offer anything to your children which your great grandmother would not recognize food. There are so many such items in our supermarkets stocked in stacks with short expiry, long expiry. Nobody even looks at the expiry date, like cereals bars, non-dairy creamers, lot of fruit bars, lot of protein energy bars, and so on and so forth. So before we take any food, as I said, it is very easy for us to use the statement forward foods and backward food. Then there is a tendency among parents, especially among the working class, when they come back from home, they love to bring something for the child. And this is all junk food. Remember, junk food satisfies you for a minute, but it is a burden for a lifetime. Healthy food satisfies you for life. Next slide. Next slide, please. Yes. What are the things to be avoided for healthy food habits? Next. Eating too much food, especially unhealthy food, puts your child at risk at overweight and obesity. So how do you do it? If your child is obese, what you must do is move to a smaller plate. Serve your salads, serve your side curries, serve everything around in the plate, and only then serve the staple food, the rice. On the other hand, what we generally do is we usually serve a lot of rice and then we add on all the smaller ones. So always serve all the salad, the side curries, one or two, the curry which has to be poured into into the rice like sambar or avial or whatever it may be, and then serve the rice. So in this case, you will be eating less of rice and more of the vegetables. Similarly, you can take a glass of lime juice with salt, or you can take curd milk with salt. So little salt. I repeat, the salt should not be more. Why did I use the word salt? Because sugar will again add calories. So before a meal, eating a curd milk or lime juice with salt, followed by a small bowl of sprouted beans and salads, then the egg meal would make a huge difference and will make the child more fresh. Also, please do not allow children to watch the media, either the TV or the mobile, and have food because this will result in the child taking more food, more wrong food, and the child will not be swallowing properly. To continue viewing the media, the child will eat more and more and more, and you will not be able to stop. A common refrain which we hear from all mothers, including today, I heard a mother with a 6-month-old child. She says, I can feed the child only by watching the media, otherwise, the child does not take food. I repeat, and I told the mother, the child is not responsible, the child does not know what is a media. It is you who started it, and only you can stop it. In our OPs, we are seeing more and more children with reduced speech, no eye contact. Actually, by 1 year, a child should speak 7 words. By 1 year, it's 7 words, and by 2 years, 100 words. Children have no vocabulary and no eye contact thanks to all the media exposure which parents are doing. So it's very important that you take food without having a media exposure. The child should feel the different textures. Similarly, one more complaint which we hear is child will take only food which is smashed in the mixie. So I ask the father always one simple way to put it across is, shall I give you rice and sambar mixed in the mixie? Can you take it? He say absolutely. So it's very important that to avoid long-term risk, we need to act fast, we need to act quick, and any rules, any organizations, any governmental rules are not going to help. It is the individual, the person, the parent who attitude has to change. The commitment and passion to our children is a must for each parent, and that is the a cornerstone of the talk of giving healthy food. Next, not eating enough. Teenagers, when they go on crash diets, like the important for parents is that to prepare a balanced food, proper hygiene, record, monitor the weight, prepare homemade food, talk about healthy eating habits. I think talking to children directly, making them through stories, showing them pictures, also more role modeling. It's very important that if a father, I have found children who do not drink water, and you ask a history. The mother comes, Madam, the child does not drink water. I asked, do you drink? He said, no. So, most often, the children, unfortunately or fortunately, take their parents as role models. So, it's very important for each of us to be as a role model. So, what you can do is please have dinner together or please have breakfast together. And please see to it that in front of the child, you touch every chutney, every sambar, every vegetable, every curry. And the more and more you start doing this, the more and more, if the child is close to the mother or the father, whichever the case may be, nothing like sharing the table with the child, showing the child that you're eating. I have also experienced this when a children never used to take onions. Now the child cannot take chapati without onions. So it's all important that we can actually keep on serving the same food 10 times. And only if the child does not take it for 10 times can you say the child is refusing that particular food. So it's very important for each of us to be role models. If you don't take ghee, the child will not take ghee. If I don't take spinach, greens, the child will not take. So it's very important that in front of the child, you take wholesome food, healthy food, nutritious food, and nothing like parents being role models. Next.
That's the end of the slide, doctor. This is the
Okay.
last slide.
Yes. So I don't know how much you have benefited from this, but I thought maybe I've covered up the whole thing. So it's to sum it up in a very easy way. One, as much as possible, the mother during pregnancy starts eating a variety of food. Once a child is born, give exclusive breastfeeding. At 6 months, start complementary feeding. 6 to 8 months, 2 extra foods. 8 to 10 months, 3 extra foods. 10 to 12 months, 4 to 5 extra foods. By 1 year, the child will be taking the family pot feeding. The father and the mother should be involved in every spot, every point of time. I have found nowadays many fathers doing better roles than the mothers. I give compliments to them for the same because many a time the father may be a role model for the son or the daughter. So whatever the father does, the child will copy. So it is important that as parents, both of us play equal role and promote good healthy habits. And I wish this webinar series all the best. I hope I've been able to do justice to this topic which is given to me. All the best for the webinar series. Thank you, Soumya. Thank you, OFSSA, for this opportunity to visit.
Thank you, doctor. Thank you so much. Thank you, doctor, for your valuable and interesting talk and helping us to gain tips to safeguard our health and tips to safeguard our child's health. Thank you, doctor. I welcome Dr. Kavita for a small remarks about the section. After that, there will be a 5 minutes interaction section. Meanwhile, if the participant have any queries, you can post in the chat box. So we will read the question so you can get the answer from the doctor after this session. With great happiness, I welcome Dr. Kavita of South Tamil Nadu
Thank you,
for
ma'am.
a small remark. Over to Dr.
Thank you,
Kavita.
Dr. Soumya. Good evening,
Thank you.
dear OFSSA members. I am Dr. Kavita, founder of Abdul Kalam Manavar Munnetra Seva Sangam. Children are the present and future wealth of our nation. As a mother of our nation, we care for the health, which is the wealth of every child. What a valuable awareness and guidance speech on food safety, hygiene, food habits, and balanced healthy diet and responsibility of the mothers and being a role model. Let us all give a thunderous applause to Dr. Abraham and Dr.R. Manju. Thank you, sir and ma'am, for you giving your precious little time, efforts, and service to induce good food habits in every child and the responsibility of the mother to feed their children to save them from food-borne illness. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your valuable remarks on the session. Now, if you have any queries, you can ask to Dr. Manju. I have already got one question from one preschool. The question is, Doctor, can you hear me?
Yes, sure.
The question is whether the milk powder is suggestible for baby after 6 months. That is the one question we got in the chat box.
Okay. See,
Shall I repeat the question?
Okay. No, you can. I heard it.
Okay.
Wasn't that right? Yeah, okay. See, basically, you're not supposed to give cow's milk less than 1 year of age. So, though we say when a family is very economically poor and they have no other solution, yes, they may give animals milk, but otherwise, generally less than 1 year, it's only exclusive breastfeeding along with other additional foods. So, what does a working mother do? The working mother can use a manual or an electrical pump, breast pump. They can pump breast milk, keep it in different glass glass bottles or glass cups, and then that can be given to the child when they are away at work. In this way, the benefit is that the breast milk will be continued to be expressed, or it will be stimulated. More and more breast milk will come when you start to pump the breast milk. Otherwise, as she asked, yes, formula has to be advised when the mother has no breast milk. There are very 1 to 2% of cases where there is a problem with breast milk absence, when the mother is depressed or the mother is on antipsychotic drugs because of postpartum depression, where the breast milk cannot be given, or when the child has preterm baby, 1, 2, or 3 triplets. Such cases, or in other cases, as she asked, in such cases, when there is no other choice, yes, the only possibility then is a formula milk, which has to be given in the appropriate method with appropriate hygienic measures and should be given in the told frequency. But even after 6 months, we can reduce the amount of formula milk by giving complementary feeds, and you can add the formula milk in small amounts to the complementary feeds so that we can reduce the amount of formula milk budget of the family. I hope that has answered your question.
Good evening, doctor.
Yes, doctor.
I've got
Yes.
I've got a small question. In my family,
Yes.
one of my grandchild, he is not taking any milk.
Okay.
And what is the alternate? Because I wanted to suggest, as I'm practicing on traditional food. I've started an organization, VOFL, that is Vegan Organic Food Line. So, and I'm
Okay.
specializing on this millet meals. And
Okay.
in that, we are giving millet juices and this
Yeah.
vegan milk from millet.
Yes.
Is it good for a child? From when we can start giving this?
Okay. Now, your first question, can you tell me how old is this child? You mentioned
1 year.
grandchild.
1 year.
1 year.
Completed 1 year.
Okay. So the other methods of giving is, instead of giving milk, many people tell about the milk, the child doesn't like the smell. One or two suggestions is, one, you can give it as curds.
Okay.
Curds. Because all children, to my knowledge, like curds. So you can give up to, instead of giving 2 glasses of milk, which we say about 1 year, you can give as curds, curds with a little sugar, curds with a little salt, or curds plain along with rice,